Hello and welcome back to City Skylines! Ladies and gentlemen, today I would quite like to sort some public transport. Yes, we do have buses, yes we do have trains, and yes we do have metro, but we don't have metro in the new areas that we've built, and as you can see the buses are... well, they're being buses in City Skylines with no mods. This is what they do. This is legitimately what buses in vanilla City Skylines do, and it never ceases to annoy me. So what we're going to have to do, quite simply, is go to budget, and we're going to have to cut the budget of my buses, because there are way too many of them. So we're not going to knock the budget down to about 100% there, which has cut like one bus, two buses. There's a few buses being cut from that line, which is good. Definitely good to see. Hopefully we'll see that line become, you know, less destructive for the city. That's the dream, anyway. We'll see if that works. So, what I'd also like to do is come in here with some metro. Like I said, we don't have metro in these new areas. So, Wood District is going to get its own metro line. So, if we come in here, I would like to put a metro station there. I'll put one there as well. I'd like to kind of put one, I'll say there. And I reckon there seems like a pretty decent spot. Maybe a bit of a interesting spot, but it does the job. Maybe a little bit further up, actually. Let's see. Let's maybe move it to... it's very close to that one, let's be honest, but I'll put it just there. And we'll put another one just over this way a little bit. I'm sort of thinking there, perhaps. Yeah, that works. Over this way, we'll do something similar. We'll put a metro station just, I think, there. And one final station can go in about there. All right. So we're going to connect those all together using the system that we've used before, which is not going to use any corners. Not any corners. It's using corners. That's the problem. It doesn't use bends. And I know people aren't huge fans of this, but it really is, from a simplistic point of view, it is just, well, simple. It does what it needs to do. It doesn't need to have all the bends. It just works. And really, it doesn't matter in City Skylines anyway. So we're fine. It's okay to have this kind of system. What I would like to do is bring a connection down from there. And bring a connection across to there. So we can connect this area to the rest of the city. And I think I'll go ahead and do a little connection, little ring of metro stations in the industrial area as well. Just so people can get about, and just so people can sort of do their thing down there, if they so desire. I don't think metro systems are really used all that much in industrial areas. Most of the traffic is going to stay. It's not going to go anywhere because most of the traffic is just industrial traffic, transporting goods and services and all that stuff. So this isn't going to be all that useful. It's not going to miraculously solve all the traffic problems that we're having. That connected across beautifully. Yeah, it's not going to solve every problem that we're having. It may solve a couple of them, but I'm not expecting any miracles here. So we'll do one loop of trains like that. I'll do one loop sort of... do I want to do one backwards? I mean, I sort of could. There's no easy way to link out to there, which is unfortunate. So I guess I'll go up into this district with this line, because why not, I suppose? So link it around to there, bring it down to here, and to there. And that should be fine. What I'll do then is link around like this with a metro line that just goes around the Wood District. And then I would like a line that goes from here out to that stop, down to that stop, and then in to this district like that. So it sort of connects around the city as well. So that should be pretty good. That'll connect people around. It'll let them do what they need to do. I do feel like I kind of want a metro line that maybe does go sort of through everything. That might be something to look into, sort of just basically a line that kind of bisects everything we have going on here. So you can pretty much go from one corner of the city to the other, and then from this corner to the other as well. that might be something to look into when we're sort of more complete with the districts and all that stuff, which is something we certainly are not at the moment. But it might be a cool idea. It might be a good way to help people move about and get even more people in the metro system. But we'll see. We'll leave it for the time being. Anyway, something I would absolutely like to do is come in here with a new train station. So we'll do a little train station just here. And I'd like to bulldoze that bit of track and pretty much come straight across here and connect that there. All right, so this is going to be a bit of a pain in the butt for a moment, because it turns out connecting this kind of system across is real difficult. So if I do that, that connects, but that actually connected. Okay. So the reason I said that was real difficult was because I sat for a good 20 minutes before this episode, before I sat down to record, just testing to see if that would work. It didn't. Not at the time. But then on camera, when I'm like, oh, it's going to be super difficult, guys, it decided to work. These things, they happen. Anyway, I would like to put some offices the whole way along here, I think. I'm also going to extend this train line to about there. But I'm also going to raise it. So it's going to go, that's interesting. We'll try and raise that to full height, actually. So 1, 2, 3, so 12 meters. So it's going to go to there, and it's going to go, well, there's fine. Basically, the reason I'm raising it, I know it's a little bit unrealistic, but the reason it's being raised is because if I continue this road through, then the train line sort of can go over it if needs be, which I kind of like the idea that it might. I kind of like the idea that it might loop kind of down to here at some point, but for the time being, I mean, this works. What I'm going to do is have this blue line have a stop there as it goes back, I suppose. So yeah, that's what's going to happen with that line. We might see some people use this station. I can't imagine it'll be used all that much, but it is just another station in the city that I think is going to be super important to have, so that's that sorted. I've also been told that I might want to move this train station, because anyone coming from the suburb can't drive to it. But the thing is, looking at it, I mean, there are so many people walking to and from this station. I really don't think we need to worry about it. Honestly, I think what we could do is actually come in here with a gravel path that sort of loops down to here. So that way people can use that little pathway if they so desire, as this guy has decided to. I think it was this one, wasn't it? No, it was you. It's Julie White. So yeah, people can use the gravel path to come from the suburb and go to it if they want to, which, I mean, they might. But so many people are keen to get in here, which makes me super happy, actually. I really enjoy seeing that. What I think I'd actually really like to do as well is get a little bit of road here and go from, say, there, which I can't do, or there, or there. No, what about there? No, that works. So if I did that, right? Now that might look weird. In fact, it totally looks weird, and you're probably wondering why I've done it. But my thinking is this little blue bus line here, it could maybe be used to go to there, so that people can get a bus to the train station, and then they can come in here and go to school there. So that might not be a terrible idea. So the buses can come in, drop people off. I mean, it's a very small stop. It's potentially going to cause problems with traffic, but I kind of like it as an idea. I mean, there's a few people waiting about. Some people are getting the bus to the I mean, so many people are actually looking to use it. That's amazing. I actually really like that. It's not a terrible idea at all. Although I might want to maybe extend the road a little bit. It would honestly be better as just sort of a little loop, I think. So maybe we'll do that. We'll go like this and like that. It does create a little kind of awkward space. So maybe we do a little one-way road there. So yeah, there's no traffic lights here. There are there. So that way we can actually go with this bus stop and move it to there. So yeah, that should actually end up being quite effective, I think. Hopefully. It also means I can move the gravel path to come in pretty much to the bus stop. Which I like. I do. So we'll do that kind of thing and do that kind of thing. So the little gravel path can go to the bus stop. People can go from the bus stop to the train. And, I mean, that seems pretty effective to me. I do think this little spot needs some trees, though. Just something to make it look kind of pretty, kind of nice, kind of alive and decorative, and ever so slightly overgrown. It wouldn't be some decoration of mine if it didn't look slightly overgrown. So I'll do something like that to sort of mask the train line just a little bit, just along there. I really should not use those trees, actually. I need to use these ones because they match the rest of the scenery and the rest of the terrain. So we'll go in with some oak trees like so. And I think I'd like to sort of come around like that as well. I just want to kind of mask the very open train line there. So do that kind of thing. Maybe we'll sort of do some oak trees going up here as well. Alright, and then bring some around like that too, which I think could look kind of interesting. Definitely kind of interesting. Maybe get rid of those ones and continue them to there and there. Yeah. I like it. I definitely like it. I think the last thing it needs is just a few little bits of shrubbery in there. Also, I realize I keep calling these bushes. People were correcting me in the comments like, yo, it's actually hedges, bro. Yeah. I don't know why I call them... Wait a minute. Did I say that right? No, I keep calling them hedges. People were like, they're bushes. I think I might have said people keep calling them hedge. I don't know. I might have mixed up my sentence. I'm recording this at like 2:30 in the morning. I do apologize. But yeah, I keep calling them hedges because anytime I'm playing modded, I always put hedges down, not bushes. And I'm playing unmodded and I'm putting down bushes, not hedges. I don't know why I felt like explaining that, but there you go. That's something that apparently you needed to know. So let's do 1, 2, 3. And I think that looks pretty good. That's working as intended, I would say. There's a lot of people using the trains there. There's quite a few people using the bus, which makes me super happy. And quite a few people walking back and forth in that path as well. Also makes me very happy. But yeah, I'm actually super pleased with that little space. I think it looks amazing. I really, really do. Now let's go have a look at the new station over here, which isn't really seeing much love. But that's okay. I didn't really expect it to. I just wanted to get another station in there just for the sake of it. So what I would like to do at this point, though, is actually look into filling in this space down here. Because this space needs something. Now, for one, I'm considering moving a lot of this industrial traffic out of the city completely to its own little space over here, which I think might be a pretty good idea. Monetarily speaking, we are fine. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to ditch all of that zoning. And that means I'm going to need to move the oil power plants. So those can go somewhere. There, I guess. No, not there. There, I guess. And there. Nope. Okay. Well, that one can maybe be deleted, hopefully. We do also have a bus depot, which is going to need moved to there, I suppose. We have that, which can be fine. Incineration plant can go in here somewhere, I suppose. I don't know. There. We can move this fire station to there. And the crematorium can go to somewhere. There. All right. So that's going to help with traffic in a pretty big way. I also need to reconnect electricity to everything. So we'll do that. Give everyone the electricity that they need. I think we're still producing enough. Yes, we are. So you might be asking yourself, yo, why did you just place those metro stations if you were just going to delete the entire area? Well, I haven't deleted the entire area. What I have done is I've got rid of the zoning. Because I quite like the idea of turning this area into a bit of a low wealth residential zone. It's obviously not going to be Franklin Heights, but a low wealth residential zone wouldn't be a terrible thing to have. Also, we really don't need a whole heap of industry right now. I feel like we're kind of doing okay without it. So I kind of wanted to clear up a bit of that and make this area just a little bit neater, a bit cleaner. It's going to take a while for all this pollution to go, but when it does, I can put some houses in there, offices, I can do whatever. I can just make that area look a bit nicer, and I feel like I really want to do that. I also feel like I really want to go ahead and sort of extend my industrial zone down into all of this space. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to go ahead and grab a bit of an avenue here. And it's going to extend down to about there. Maybe not. Well, maybe about there. Then if I go 10 and 10... And we'll do something similar on that side in just a second. But if we go across like this, to about that point, I think, we'll go 10 and 10 up to there. And that could actually connect straight through, which I think might be a pretty good idea. So we'll move this solar plant to there and connect you straight up to there. So yeah, that's basically going to be the new industrial zone, I suppose. It's a bit of a weird shape, but it'll do what it does. I don't know what that sentence was supposed to be. It'll do what it does. It'll do what it does. Don't know what that sentence was going to be, but there you go. I am going to straighten up some of these edges because they definitely need it. It'll help with zoning as well. These ones I'm going to sort of leave as is because I just kind of like that look. So if we do that, and that, and that, we do have some straight edges to play with there, which is pretty good. I'll move these solar plants down to here. I could probably get something else in there, right? I can't get another solar plant, but I can get one of those. I can get one of those. Not that I necessarily want to, I'm aware of the fact that I can do that. I could actually do a road up between these guys. And on said road, I might actually be able to place... I can't place that. I can't place that. That's a shame. That could have been real good. But unfortunately, it isn't. So what I'll do instead is I will just continue this road the whole way to there. And I will also go to there. And to there. Now that might cause some problems for traffic. Hopefully not too many of them. But that does fill up most of that area, which makes me very happy indeed. So let's do some industrial zoning in here. I would like some offices just here. And I guess just industry in there and there. I'm going to move the power plants, actually. Because I kind of like the idea that they would be in that spot. And also in that spot there. As for incineration, I'm going to want to sort of spread it out a little bit, I think. Well, maybe this road. Maybe I put a couple of incineration plants on that road, just at the bottom of it. We put a couple of incineration plants at the ends of this road. And, I mean, that's not spreading them out massively. It just doesn't put them all on exactly the same road. Which is probably something that's quite important to do. So we'll see how that goes. That might work, it might not. I'm definitely excited to try it. As for the fire coverage, I'm going to move this firehouse to there. No, that's right next to incineration plants. That's a bad idea. I'll do it right there, right by a junction. We'll see how that goes. Right in the middle of some offices too. This little firehouse can move into this district, I suppose, so it can go sort of in that corner. And I don't really think there's much else I need to put in here. There is a taxi depot there, which is probably fine where it is. I would actually like to go ahead and just dezone this entire area for a second, just so I can see what I'm working with. Which means I'm going to need to move these power lines ever so slightly to there. So that's going to connect the entire city to the electrical grid. Now, these guys are going to need water as well. So let's run that to there and across. All right, so those guys are getting water, which is super, super good. And this guy here, this little park area is certainly interesting. Now, those are a couple of incineration plants. I'm going to get rid of those because I really don't feel like I need them. So this taxi depot. Let's put one there. And let's put one there. The fire station can go there. The crematorium can go there. And I'll put another one over on the other side. And then I think that area is pretty much good to zone at this point. So just a bunch of industry. Which is risky, for sure. Definitely risky, but it'll build eventually, which will be fine. These guys apparently don't have water. Are we really having water problems? Or did you just... No, you just don't have water. Okay. Well, there we go. They now do have water. Which is excellent news. I'm going to want to extend Franklin Heights a little bit to just cover up this entire space. So something a bit like that should do the job. Then fill in this middle bit as well. Alright, so that should make Franklin Heights. It is default style. I'm actually going to change it to vanilla. Just for a change, I guess. We've had these old brick factories for a good while. I kind of fancy a change to see what the other ones look like. I think that's pretty much them, isn't it? A slightly more, that kind of old... I don't know what that would be, like tin, old sheet metal walls. And I don't think it is tin, but, you know, we'll call it tin. Tin sounds old, if you think about it. It does. That's a weird sentence to say, I'll be honest. Tin sounds old. But it does, if you think about it. It's like, oh, it's made of tin. Back in my day, factories were made of tin. It sounds old, doesn't it? Yeah, I thought so. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this into a 6-lane road. You might think that's ridiculous. I do too, but it's kind of necessary in a way, because it means that a lot of traffic can go on those roads, and we're not going to have too many problems with it. I'm also going to put that there, right in the middle of that space, because, well, I can. So we'll do that. That'll hopefully let traffic flow pretty well. It also just looks cool. Nice big bridge there. It looks pretty decent. So we should, in theory, end up seeing, I mean, obviously a lot of industrial traffic flowing out that way. That is definitely a bit of an issue. I think part of the issue as well is the fact that we do have this old town policy on Franklin Heights, which may be stopping some traffic from going from this guy. Well, no, I don't know what way. I guess a lot of this traffic is just because of the cargo train terminal. Yeah, that's definitely the case. That is most certainly the case, which we're going to have to deal with in one way or other, but we'll get to that. What I think I would like to do then is go ahead and just put a big lump of residential zoning right in the middle of this space. And down the sides as well, like this, to that point, to that point. And then offices. Offices are pretty good. Offices are a really, really good way to basically border districts. At least I find it that way. So we'll do that kind of thing with offices around there. It might take a while for them to build. Undoubtedly, it will take a while for them to build. But once they do, it'll be pretty good. So let's go to there, and go... Oh, we can't do that, really? Alright, well, that's a shame. For one, I'd like to upgrade it. For two, I'd like to do that. And then I can't actually do what I want to do, so I'll just do this. So that almost works. That almost worked. Alright, what if I was to do that and that? And then... Now, why doesn't that snap? That's really strange that it doesn't want to snap properly. That also doesn't want to work. I mean, that kind of works. That can go to there, and that can go to there. There we go. So that's just an interesting little path section, I suppose. I thought it'd be a bit of fun. Kind of looks funky. So that connects to there. This guy over here can have, we'll do something much simpler, so we'll just do that and that. Then I don't really want buildings in the middle, so we're not going to bother with that. This dude here can have a similar setup, I guess. So we'll do a pathway there and a pathway there. So yeah, that totally connects through. That should look pretty decent. All we need at this point are some little trees in there, just to make the area look kind of nice. Put a bit of greenery between the buildings. Definitely still a fair bit of pollution in this area, so we're probably going to have some issues with people getting sick quite frequently. Which we will, we'll deal with that problem as it comes up. For the meantime, I just want to get more people in here. I also want to look at our next goal, which is 36,000 people. We need 3,000 people more. And we have this goal. Which will be lovely. Ooh, are we actually having problems with traffic coming into the city at this point? Slightly. There are some slight problems. I've known this whole time there's traffic problems here, but I didn't realize they went the whole way back to here. That's a little bit worrying. There's also not much traffic using this road yet. That's both worrying and slightly annoying. So, in an effort to combat the problems that we were having with this cargo train terminal, I decided to give it a 6-lane road out front. My thinking being that some of the traffic coming out might decide to go to the left. It didn't. Well, not much of it does anyway. It does let some traffic coming in this way go to the cargo train terminal. I also changed this so that traffic can actually leave via this road, which is getting a little bit of use. I also made this a district, which is now the Crescent District, as you can see, and also made it the vanilla style because I absolutely love the look of just the mix of old and new. It's not done building yet, but it's getting there. All of the offices are built. The residences are not so much. I'd also like to have a look and see... Yeah, 4,000 people are using the metro there. That is all sorts of silly. And I really, really like it. I really do. It's so satisfying to see that many people using the metro. It really is. It just means it's working as well, which is great. Now this station here, 303 people serviced last week. That's not so bad, actually. That's pretty good. That is, I can't complain about that. I'm also glad that we've moved the industry even further out of the city, because this is something I've been meaning to do anyway. I want to move the industry and keep moving it. But what I'd also like to do, in an effort to combat this problem, I'm actually going to come over this way. And I'm going to go ahead and add another cargo train station. And I'm going to add it here. Right, sort of... I mean, these are offices, but there are quite a few shops in there. So, adding a cargo train station here might not be a terrible idea, although, what I would like to do with it, we're a colossal city. Would you look at that? We got a cargo hub, we got a new tile, we got the nuclear plant. Amazing. Amazing. Alright, let's get a new tile then. So, we're gonna go for this one. Yeah, we're going to go for that one. We're going to buy it. Beautiful. So, we can build up on the hill now, which is super good. What we can also do, what's more important than building up on the hill, is we can dump all of our sewage in this little space, which might just help the coastline we have in the city. So if I do that and then connect to there, then bulldoze you guys, hopefully that'll solve some problems. It might not. We shall see. Those guys are going to need power anyway, so those are fine. I would like to... You know what? I'll just throw one of these in the water. That didn't actually connect across. That's a shame. We'll do 3 of them then. So yeah, we get a few of those in the go. Those can start dumping sewage over there. Hopefully we'll see this area clear up. It is definitely a possibility. It's probably just going to take some time. Which we have, I suppose. Anyway, what I'd like to do over here then is go ahead and do a little section of one-way roads. So, we're going to go one way to there, and to there. And then on that road, I'm going to put the cargo train station. So it's going to go there, which makes people a little bit unhappy. But generally speaking, that should come in quite useful. I would also really like to get the cargo, the hub here. That would be nice to have, but not at the moment. We'll get that eventually. Now, this area over here is going to get polluted like crazy, but that is fine. So, let's bring ourselves a little bit of a train line just down to here. So, I think it's going to go... Honestly, I'm kind of thinking maybe over that road might be a good idea. So, let's go like that. Then, like that. Then, that. And then that should go over, right? That should be a good enough height. Yeah, it is. Beautiful. So we'll go to there. Go to there. And then we can, I suppose, start going down again. So, about there. About there. And about there. So that nicely goes over that road. It is a little bit low. But I think it's just about the right height anyway. So that can go to there. Now this is going to need to meet up with this line over here. So this line needs to go straight on, which it can't actually do because of the other train line, which is unfortunate. So can it go over? That's the real question. It can actually. And I enjoy that fact. So let's have that sort of do that kind of thing on that side. It does break the power lines, but that's okay. Actually, maybe that should just keep raising up. Maybe it should stay elevated. So it can go to that height. It's going to go like... Let's see. What's the longest slope we can get here? So something a bit like that. Then it can go over quite nicely. And we'll elevate it up some more. Then elevate it up some more. Then continue it straight across and over that road. So, like that. Yeah, that seems pretty good. We are going to have a bit of a gap, though, which I'm not entirely sure I'm a fan of. So if we maybe knock that down a little bit and go like this instead, so that if we put some buildings in that avenue, they'll be right against the train line. And up to that point. Because we can just do that kind of thing. A little bit of a diagonal never hurt anybody. So that should be pretty good. Then if we continue straight on a little bit more, then it just needs to curve. Although I guess this can come straight down a little bit further as well. And then the curve can be a little one. So do that. Or slightly less, I suppose. So something a bit like that. Yeah. So that should totally work. We have this nice big raised train line, which will hopefully solve some of the cargo problems that we've been having. Oh, now look at this. Going through this, well, sort of through the city. Sort of around the city, I suppose, but a cargo train heading over this way, down the slope, into here, delivering a whole bunch of cargo. A whole bunch of cars as well, a whole bunch of vehicles there. But that's all right. That's kind of the point. That'll hopefully take some of the traffic away from over here. That's the plan. That's the goal here. We are having some issues with this space here because all the trains are getting a little bit backed up. There was a bit of a tailback around here previously, which was not fun. It was definitely not fun, but, you know, it's sort of, it's gone at this point, so we're all right. We are definitely all right, but I love this. I love how messy this is. I also am really pleased that we have cargo trains just moving around here. That makes me so happy because it should absolutely take away some of this traffic, and that's kind of the important thing here. So that's what we're aiming for anyway. But I think what I'll also go ahead and do is I am actually gonna maybe look into, and that's 1, 2, 3. I don't know how many tiles that's supposed to be, but I think I want to sort of take out some of the zoning there, and maybe about there as well, and go straight across like that so we can put some kind of little park space in there. I'd also really like to, at the ends of these bits of zoning, sort of cap them off with the pathways so I can just see what I'm dealing with, and then fill it up with offices, just so we can get some buildings with their backs facing out onto that train track, because that's going to look pretty cool. That will look pretty cool indeed. So this is the Sterling District. We're going to have to extend that onto the road here and a little bit further as well. So extend it to there. Can I extend it to the train track? Unfortunately, it doesn't snap to the train track. That's kind of annoying, but nothing I can do about it. All right, so that's the new Sterling District. Goes out to about there. It's a heck of a distance. We can actually cut that off really neatly if I just do this. There we go. So the new Sterling District is there. Got some nice buildings going up. Those are actually going to look pretty cool, I think. Having those backing up onto the tracks there. They'll get a bit taller. Not a hell of a lot taller, but definitely a little bit taller. Which will look good, I think. Gonna want to get some water for those guys as well. So bring this across like that. There we go. So that'll keep those guys happy. Like I said, we can do some kind of little park thing in here. So let's just do, I guess, a couple of trees to line that little bit of road. Something a bit like that as well. Maybe space those out a bit better. So we'll do that. We'll do that and that. And we'll do a couple of these trees as well, just to be a little bit different. Get a lighter one in there as well. Do 4 on that side, because why not? And a couple of bushes as well, just to make it look kind of pretty. There we go. Alright, I like that. I do. I'm super pleased we have this train line going through here. I don't know why. It's something simple. It's not out of the ordinary. It's like, this is a normal thing for people to do in City Skylines. It's normal that you would have a train line actually coming into your city and not just in the outskirts. It's just something I don't often do, and I'm happy with it. I'm also just generally super happy with how the city's developing. I realize as well, so far this episode, I haven't actually built all that much new. I mean, this is a bit new, but I mean, I've got rid of the old industrial district and filled it with a bunch of apartment high-rises, which actually looks beautiful and colorful, and look at that! How colorful is that? Oh, I love this game sometimes. I really, really do. I say sometimes. Most of the time. I kind of friggin' love City Skylines. It's pretty good. Don't know if you've noticed. What I would like to do then to wrap this episode up is I will go ahead and I guess we can go ahead and add a bit of a new district. So we'll come off of here with the grass-lined avenue. We'll come off of here with that. Did I just do that perfect? Oh my god. I just did that perfectly without even thinking about it. That's weird. Wow. Alright. I mean, I'll take it. Just didn't expect to do that. So we'll do that. We'll come in here like that. We'll go with some regular roads just because, I mean, it's not going to be the most luxurious area. Technically, I probably want to connect to there as well, because that would actually continue that road through, except it's pathways, and that's kind of the style we're going for. Gonna want to go here as well, and then like that. Okay, and then up to about there, I think. I would like to get rid of that bit. I think that's just going to be a pathway. Then this can, I guess, go like that. Yeah, that seems fine to me. I quite like it. Let's go and grab some pathways and do that and do that. And that seems pretty good. All right. Let's see what it's going to be. So I'm thinking we have a fair bit of office demand, a little bit commercial. I reckon we'll do offices on the outskirts of the whole thing, even though we don't usually do, you know, entirely one type of lot zoning. I mean, we usually split it like this with commercial or residential one side, offices in the other, but that's fine. We can do this a bit differently. Unless we don't, we could just cut this out and do some, I guess we'll do some stuff in there. That seems alright to me. So cut that out of there. Cut that bit out of there. And that bit out of there. And then in those spaces, do a bit of not residential, do a bit of commercial, I think. So something like that. Then this bit can be commercial as well. And then I think this can just be a park. Can I actually get one of the giant parks in here? I can. It doesn't fit central, which is just great. Just my favorite thing. We can't get that central either, which is just lovely. And my favorite thing. We can get a couple of botanical gardens like that, though. Then I guess I could put sort of a pathway between them. which I kind of like the idea of doing. Botanical gardens aren't something we have yet, so we'll give that a shot. Sort of go like this, sort of go like that, and like that, and like that. I like it. I think it works. Let's go from here to there, and let's go from here to there. And yeah, that totally works. That totally works. Let's get some trees in, make it look kind of fabulous. Get a nice big tree there, nice big tree there, a nice big tree there, and in those corners as well. And then just dot the place with a few oak trees, and we're done. Okay, when I said I'd do a few trees here and there, I may have underestimated how much work I'd do, but I think that looks kind of nice. You know, we've got some nice lined pathways there with a bunch of bushes and stuff. It looks kind of fancy. Definitely looks a little bit more expensive than I had planned for it to look, because this area was supposed to, you know, be slightly... Like, these areas aren't supposed to look all that rich and expensive, but I might have gotten slightly carried away and made them look a little bit more rich and expensive than they were supposed to. But these things happen. You know, don't you just hate it when you accidentally make an area really rich and expensive when it's supposed to be a little bit more run down? Yeah, that sucks. But, I mean, it works. It looks alright. We have a bunch of commercial buildings coming up there. These buildings are, of course, supposed to be a little bit more on the side of modern, so we're going to want to come in here and just make a new district. And I'm making a lot of districts. I realize that this district could just be part of the Crescent district next door, but I kind of like the idea that it's going to be its own thing. So we have Rosewood district, which I think is fine. So we'll do that. We'll go ahead and just neaten it up like so. We'll select it and set it to vanilla. Go to policies, go to city planning, and we're going to want Old Town. We're going to want high-tech housing, which there isn't any in there, so I don't know why I would do that. We'll do encourage biking. That'll be fine. Crescent District, I actually kind of like the idea that we'd do Old Town on you as well with encourage biking. So there we go. So those guys are all going to get bulldozed and turn into more modern-looking buildings, which honestly I think will be a really nice contrast, you know, to the botanical gardens that we have here. So that could end up looking real nice, I think. I also still really appreciate that we do actually have a roundabout in the middle of all of this. Because this roundabout, once I've done some decoration in the middle of it, it's going to look super good. Because you're going to have all these big buildings on this side. You know, all these new buildings and all that stuff. And then over here, you've got all these old ones. And I just really like that. I also love the look of that train bridge. Oh, that looks amazing. That looks so good. Is there a train coming by any second? There we go. Oh, I love that. That's such a cool view, seeing all those trains go by. I really, really like that. Now, there's a few emergency vehicles going up there. All ambulances, interestingly. I guess, I mean, where's the nearest, that's actually a question. Where the hell is, what's the medical coverage like down here? Medical coverage is, slightly non-existent. So maybe we want to do a hospital. Maybe we can't fit a hospital in there. That's good. Maybe just a medical clinic? I mean, we can fit one of those, but I'd kind of want a hospital, to be honest. I don't have the space, which sucks. So, I guess no hospital. I guess we are just going to have to go with medical clinic. Even though a hospital would be kind of ideal. No, not really anywhere I can put that. I can't put it there. I can put it there, but that would kind of ruin a beautiful little park that I have. But I guess the beautiful little park isn't all that important, is it? Although it does look particularly beautiful. Oh, it's tempting. It's real tempting. Does it sit central? Yes, it does. Okay, bye-bye park. There we go. Nice big hospital in there. I am actually going to keep these little paths on the side, even if they don't get used. I don't know if they will, because whilst it does connect to the hospital, I don't know if that bit around the hospital is counted as a, as you know, a thing that Sims can walk onto. So we'll see how that goes. I would also like to get a couple of big trees in there again. Just like that. And I guess that looks alright. Just another big hospital looking over everything. So that should make medical coverage around here pretty darn good. Fire coverage, not so much. But that's something that we can totally work on. Because I can actually put this I would put it right there, but that's going to be pretty bad for coverage. So I'll do it just there. Which should, whilst it looks a little bit ugly, that should actually provide some pretty good coverage. And policing is a little bit non-existent around here. So we'll do a... So I didn't want to put that there. Hold on a minute. I want the smaller police station. Just there. So that'll do right there. That seems fine. Let's do you and that. All right. So that should provide some pretty good coverage to that whole area. Demand is slowly leveling out there, which is pretty good to see. I love how this little park looks. There's a couple of people walking through there, and as you can see, and it just looks absolutely beautiful with all these buildings around it as well, especially once these buildings get a bit taller, which they will. They absolutely will. Those commercial buildings will get a bit taller. That's actually another reason I quite like lining my districts with offices, because that means that the buildings in the center are going to get a bit taller than the buildings you have around the edges. So you can very clearly, from a distance, see all of the districts. And I think that'll look kind of cool once the whole thing builds up. The whole way along the avenues, you're going to have these lower buildings, but in the middle and kind of off the avenues, you'll see the taller ones. Like in here, all these buildings along the avenue are kind of small. But then you look off the avenue a little bit and you have the taller buildings. And I just like that. I really, really do. Not so much the case with the European style, but definitely the case with the more vanilla modern style. Also, how are trains looking? Trains seem to be functioning pretty darn well, which I'm so pleased about. I really am. Again, especially this guy here. I mean, it looks like traffic is still a nightmare. And it certainly is. It is certainly a nightmare. It is partially down to the fact that we have this major four-way intersection here, which honestly I'm tempted to get rid of. I think it might be a good idea to get rid of it, because it is just causing all sorts of problems. But I have all these trees by it, and it looks kind of pretty, so I'm probably gonna keep it. Yeah, probably gonna keep it. Anyway, ladies and gents, I am gonna leave it there for today. So, thank you kind of for watching. This has been City Skylines and the Vanilla Let's Play Part 12. We actually have managed to create effectively a nice big square here, so next episode we can maybe look into filling out more of this space and some of this space here. And I kind of want to maybe look into planning what's going to go up in this hill. Also, this is actually, the water here is slowly clearing out, which is nice. Hopefully this pollution doesn't carry the whole way around again. We can certainly dream. We'll see what happens, but we're slowly getting to the point where we're going to be not necessarily done with the inner city part, because there is still a lot to do there. I still need to place monuments. I still have a lot of unique buildings I want to put in. Like I want to put the London Eye somewhere along here, for example, or down by the coast. I have ideas that I want to do. I want to get a stadium, all that stuff. I just want to sort of build up the city a bit, get the bulk of the city in there, and then make it look pretty a little bit later down the line. So we are going to have some high rises. We are going to have lots of cool looking stuff. But we just got to get there. That's the thing. You can't skip to the end. You gotta experience the journey. And that's not just advice for this Let's Play. That's advice for life. So just keep that. I didn't expect to be given life advice in a City Skylines video. But just in general, the journey is just as important as the destination. And with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, it is 3:18 in the morning that I'm recording this. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you kind of for watching. This has been City Skylines and the Vanilla Let's Play Part 12, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. That way, YouTube will think I'm popular, and they'll show the video to even more people.